Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting shortly. Just want to give a few more minutes for more people to join the call and webinar. All right, well, I'd like to go ahead and kick this off. Again, wish everybody, hope everybody got their gift cards so they have lunch and they're enjoying that now. With us today, I've got Arpan. And he is our SVP in charge of data analytics and AI. And I'm here. My name is Rick Anthony. I'm vice president here. Been with Evosys going on 3 years, but have been in the Oracle space for over 25 years. Been doing this when it was green screens that you were looking at, and then on-premise with the business. And now, like Evosys themselves, we've been focusing on Oracle Cloud. I've been focused on Oracle Cloud for well over 7 years now. So want to thank you for joining today, and hope you get some benefit from us as we talk about Fusion Analytics Warehouse, commonly known as FAW. So for the agenda today, Arpan, if you could go to the next slide. We'll talk a little bit about us so you know who we are. Then we're going to talk more about FAW and the benefits of FAW. We'll talk about our industry solutions and then our offering and timeline. So 3 options in which to engage and implement FAW along with associated costs in doing so. And then we'll get into the meat of it, the FAW demo. And that will be run by Arpan. And then the Evosys case studies. So let's move to about Evosys. So we are a global company. We are in 40 different countries. We only do Oracle as Evosys. And in the beginning of this year, we're now able to contribute more to our customers. So we've added more service lines to our customers with becoming one with our parent company, Mastech. So we're able to provide areas of specialty around DevOpsSec, CX around Oracle, and then also the additional expanded managed services to cover those other service lines. As a company as a whole for Evosys, we have well over 1,280 Oracle Cloud customers. If you read ERP Today magazine, they stated last year that we've implemented more Oracle Fusion Cloud than any other partner globally. Within the analytics space, we've got well over 110 customers we've implemented, and we'll talk about some of those case studies as it underpins FAW. Gartner, what Gartner says about us, as you can see, we've risen through the ranks over the last 3 years. And if you look at 2021, the only other partner on there that is a Oracle only partner is Oracle Consulting themselves. So we've done well and have been recognized by Oracle as well as Gartner. And on the Oracle side, the last Oracle World in-person conference that was held in 2019, we received the HCM Global Partner of the Year. And a couple of years prior to that, we had ERP Cloud Partner of the Year. Next slide, please. So here is a part of our industry vertical. So I'll turn this over, if I can, to Arpan, and maybe you can walk us through some of these various industries and where we've done some work.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Rick. Good morning, everyone. I'll just quickly take you through our industry verticals, or I can say the solutions that we've implemented in all of these different client places. So, we've got a great amount of experience in terms of doing a lot of consulting for our clients in terms of identifying what are the right KPIs or identifying what are the right reporting areas, whether they are, regular management reporting or statutory reporting, those kind of reporting requirements. And then you can see there are, we've split these different clients in these different industry categories. So if you can see MRD and logistics, we've worked with a lot of organizations globally, and we have tried to pick customers from different regions to show you the global exposure, as well as the industry best practice solutions that we implement for most of these clients. You can see we've done a lot of healthcare implementations. We've done implementations with financial services, and then conglomerates as well, who deal in multiple or various different lines of businesses. And if you see here, let me see if I can get the highlighter here. Yeah, the laser. So these are the clients where we've implemented all of the analytics solutions. But if you can see, some of them are highlighted or underlined with the red lines here. Those are the solutions, or those are the clients where we've implemented FAW, and that's Fusion Analytics Warehouse on top of our Oracle Cloud solutions. So these are our 4 initial clients where we have done the implementation. And it's interesting that once you see that the ERP is stable in these organizations, we start implementing solutions like FAW to give them more insights about their day-to-day operations, to give them more insights about their transactions, and then help them to create an enterprise-wide data management as well as reporting strategy. So these are various clients, and I'll be more than happy to talk about detailed case studies at the end of this discussion today. So what is FAW, and how does it really help various organizations? So if you see, there are different views of data, coming in from finance, coming in from operations, supply chain. There would be a lot of non-ERP related data that you may want to mash up with your with your ERP data. So how do we get the non-ERP data sources within the enterprise reporting framework? So if you see here, what we are trying to do is create a unified layer or a unified architecture of management of data, as well as creating the enterprise reporting strategy, bringing in all different views or all different data together from various different sources. So as I said, FAW, yes, gives you a lot of ERP related information and analytics, but it also gives you the ability to absorb data from non-ERP sources, and then use that data to correlate and get meaningful information out of your organization for decision making. So that's how it creates a single shared analytics data model across different sources, across different types of data coming in from different sources. So what does Fusion Analytics do as a part of the solution? So it gives a lot of pre-built best practices KPI library. So it gives you more than 350 or 400 KPIs that you can start using immediately. You don't need to do any manual development of these KPIs. You don't need to write any extraction logic. You don't need to write any detailed algorithms to start developing these KPIs. So all of these are pre-built, readily available, drag and drop, and you can use them. The entire data model is pre-built, which gives you the flexibility of doing your self-service reporting. You can extract all the data onto one canvas and start doing your analysis, and it helps you to do a lot of self-service reporting as well as analysis on the data that you've got. It also allows you to extend the analytics application, which means that there are a lot of pre-built good contents available, but then you can extract data from different sources and then start using that data, creating your reports on that new data source as well. This ultimately creates an enterprise reporting platform as well as a central data management platform as well. Once you have all the data, which is your ERP data and your non-ERP data, it gives you a platform to create advanced analytics algorithms and machine learning algorithms, whether it is predictive analytics or prescriptive analytics, or if you want to do any forecasting based on certain specific algorithms using statistical models, you can do that as well. So it basically gives you a platform not only to do your basic reporting, but also to take that one step further, saying, giving you a platform to create a very, very enhanced or the future-proof advanced analytics and machine learning solution. This is how it looks like. So I'll explain how it goes. So if you see on the left side, this is the entire pre-built solution that comes as a part of FAW. And on the right side, these are custom areas. So all of these are built on the good old, I would say, Oracle Analytics Cloud, which is the market leader in terms of analytics. And then it sits on top of Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse. So Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse has proved its capabilities. It's one of the most widely accepted and the most advanced tools in terms of data warehouses. So it gives you a lot of, it's more like a self-driving and self-maintaining data warehouse, which ultimately reduces a lot of overhead, takes away the overhead and the pain to manage and maintain complex data warehouse. So it does the entire managing as well as maintenance, optimization, and patching of the data warehouse on its own. So the entire FAW is built on the Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse and Oracle Analytics Cloud. So as a part of these two tools, what Oracle has done is they've created a lot of these pre-built solutions on top of your ERP applications, or you can say Oracle Cloud SaaS applications. So here at the end, you can see there are ERP, supply chain, HR, as well as CX applications. Oracle has created a pre-built data pipeline, which does the entire integration. They have created a schema, or you can say it's more like a data warehouse. They have created a semantic model, and then they've created a lot of KPIs, dashboards, and reports on top of it. So the entire access of data or the self-service becomes very seamless. So we don't have to develop anything. We don't have to integrate with any sources. Everything is pre-built as a part of FAW. And obviously the security. So all the security that you have used, all the role-based access you've used in these applications, the foundation applications, all of them will be automatically be applicable to the pre-built KPIs and dashboards or reports that are available out of the box. So that's the power of FAW. And if you see on the right side, we understand that all of these applications are important, but these are not the only applications that are there in any organization, right? So you can then extend the pre-built FAW solution to have a lot of non-Oracle applications, or even Oracle database related applications integrated to FAW, which gives you a complete view of an enterprise reporting architecture. So all your data sources or your applications can be integrated using Oracle Data Integrator, which is again a part of the Oracle BI suite. And you can write your own ETLs to extract data on a routine basis, create your schemas, and then create your own reporting and dashboards. So depending on what tools or what source applications you've got, you can start extending those, you can start adding those to the enterprise data management and the reporting area. So that gives you great amount of flexibility to keep adding as many non-Oracle data sources, or basically I would say non-ERP data sources that you want to, and then it can become like a common point of reporting for the entire organization. So this is more of an overview of how the application looks like, the FAW application. So you can see at the bottom end, all of these are the applications, and then all these different reporting structures, whether they are the pre-built ERP, HCM, CX, and other analytics. And then you will also see all your non-Oracle or other sources reporting areas. So all of them will be hosted on a common reporting layer. And as I said, it is built on Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse, which does not have any overhead in terms of maintenance. and it gives you exposure to Oracle Analytics Cloud, which is not only used for your regular reporting, but also gives you great amount of pre-built machine learning algorithm features that can help your data scientists, or that can also help your citizen data scientists, which are your employees who can do self-service analytics using pre-built machine learning features. So that's how it is. If you see on the right side, there are a lot of pre-built KPIs that are available, and it gives you faster time to value, because you don't have to invest in the development of any of these KPIs which are available out of the box. And then it gives you flexibility to extend your enterprise reporting strategy to other non-ERP or non-Oracle related sources as well. So if you see, this is a traditional, if you see on the left side, this is the traditional implementation of any data warehouse and an enterprise reporting strategy. So you do a lot of data extracts. You have to manage your own data in terms of how it is structured, how you can optimize the queries and make sure that the report is refreshed on a routine basis and all that. And then you create your dashboards, you create the security layer, and then you do the analysis. So the amount of time that we spend on the development is huge when you compare it with the time you get to analyze that data. And when it comes to analyzing that data, the period has already closed, or the time has already passed, so you can't do anything corrective to optimize the organization's performance. Whereas when you look at the FAW, you just have to turn it on, and Evosys can configure it for you. Once we configure it, which is the matter of few weeks, everything is available as a part of the pre-built dashboards, KPIs, reports, and people can start analyzing the data from day one. So that's the power of FAW. It saves a lot of time and effort when you compare it with a traditional data warehouse or an enterprise reporting project. It gives you faster time to value and faster time to market, because it ultimately is all pre-built and easy to use. So I'll be showing you in the demo how to create certain reports and dashboards in few clicks. And I'll also use the pre-built KPIs to create these dashboards. So the end users will feel more comfortable that they are able to drive the reporting as per their requirements. And yes, because all of the ERP cloud releases will be impacting on a routine basis. So all of those will be automatically in sync with the release of your FAW. So at any point in time, all the reports that you're seeing are the latest. All the features that you get on the reporting layer are the latest as well as per the new cloud releases. And then the last step is to extend. So any other non-Oracle sources, if you have, you can start extending them. You can start including them in the enterprise reporting warehouse. So this is how it looks like. This is the FAW for Fusion HCM. You can get a lot of different KPIs which are ready to use. It can be by headcount, it can be by the gender ratio. It has a lot of different slices which are pre-built. So you don't have to configure them. You don't have to create those slices. So as you can see here, it is by ethnicity, it is by gender. You can see it by the nationality. And then you can see a lot of higher turnover ratios, all the compensation related or promotion rate related KPIs. So there are a lot of pre-built KPIs that any person would want to look at from analyzing the HR data perspective. So if you see here,
I apologize there. Can you go back to that 1 second? I just wanted to jump in here because this is really important. This is where a lot of our customers are looking to Oracle and choosing Oracle is because of these KPIs. It used to be, and I told you I come from a world of on-premise before cloud came about for Oracle. And, generally these on-premise implementations would take years to implement. And, trying to gauge what good looks like or your return on investment was really difficult back then. But now with the advent of cloud, you can implement faster. You can implement 9 months to 16 months, maximum 2 years. But most companies are getting it done in a year to a year and a half. So they're really looking at what does good look like? How are we going to measure success? And that's where they start to look at these KPIs and benchmarking the KPIs so they can really understand the benefit of their system. For instance, the average time, for instance, on HCM in onboarding, they want to reduce the time to onboard. That's a critical instance, especially if you're a growing company and you want to make sure people are going to be productive quickly. Is that all onboarding process, the KPIs, to look at that, to match it, to benchmark it what it was before the implementation and now currently. That's when people start to really understand the benefit of the system that you've invested in. So these KPIs that we're going to talk through HCM and ERP and the other areas are going to be critical. So I hope everybody understands that. Back to you, Arpan.
That's right, Rick. And even we do a lot of implementations on cloud as well as on premise for our customers, which are in a traditional fashion. But looking at FAW has really changed the entire game, because the customers can see the value of the implementation very quickly in few weeks. So if you see here, this is the FAW for Fusion ERP. So you can see a lot of ERP related information in terms of finance, supply chain, as well as CX. So you can see there are so many different KPIs which are readily available, and you don't have to, in a traditional implementation, we would generally go back and ask for the requirements. We will say, how do you calculate certain KPIs? We will agree on the formula. So there is a lot of investment of time and effort from the organization side, and all that is cut, slashed down completely, because all of these KPIs, the calculations are pre-built as per the best practices. Yes, there is a possibility to modify them or change them as per the requirement, but we've seen that most of our clients are readily accepting all of these standard KPIs because they are built as per the international standards. And these are certain, you can see certain reports or dashboards that are available out of the box. So more than 200 ready to use KPIs and detailed reports are available, right from general ledger. You can see accounts receivable, payable, spend analytics, and then employee expenses, procurement. So all of these are pre-built, and these are just sample. I mean, there are more than these which are available in the out of the box solution. And these are not just standard reports that are running based on the data that you have. They are also a lot of machine learning involved in it, so that you can start utilizing your data for accurate decision making. So it tells you, as an example, you talk about the spend analytics. So where are you losing money? Where are the leakages, cost leakages within the organization? If I want to see that, if I want to create a risk analysis of my spend, all of these features are available using machine learning within the application, so that you don't have to write any complex algorithms to make that happen. Similarly, you can see the accounts payable. All of these KPIs are readily available and ready to use. These are on the HCM side. So if you can see on the HCM side, sorry, the core HR related, so headcount related, termination, turnover, and from the talent perspective, HR internal mobility perspective. So you can see the number of transfers that are happening. Similarly, on the talent side, you can see what is the hires to goal, what is the time to hire, and all of these are very, very important KPIs for the organization. Similarly, you can see the compensation part, workforce analysis in terms of the absence and accruals. So these are the KPIs which are available, and I'll be showing you the demo, so I won't spend a lot of time there. So looking at all of these, good features or good pre-built analysis that are available at your disposal, it really makes the entire implementation time frame in few weeks, and that's what we want to show here. So we have been implementing these solutions for our clients, and they've been appreciating when it comes to implementing these solutions, especially when you compare it with non-standard solution or a non-pre-built solution. So looking at the packages, we have made it very simple into 3 different categories. The first of is the out of the box, which is implementing the entire solution, or I would not even call it implementation. I would just call it activation or configuration of the application, right? So we just switch the system on and you start getting the KPIs from there. The second part is the standard one and the enterprise one. So I'll just quickly explain the details. And if you see here, this is the out of the box solution. All your KPIs will start running as soon as we switch the application on, and we are doing it in around 4 weeks. So in 4 weeks, why do we take 4 weeks is because we want to train people. We want them to start utilizing the entire application hands-on. People should be comfortable using the pre-built analytics and the KPIs to create their own reports. So that's where majority of our time goes, in training as well as making the users comfortable on the application. Otherwise, it's basically just switching on the application and handing it over to different set of stakeholders to start utilizing it. So if you can see here, it's 4 weeks and only $28,000. So that's the fastest implementation. The other one is standard. So we pick up the out of the box, and then we also do a lot of customization in terms of understanding what are your expectations in terms of the KPIs are, do the calculations need to be changed based on your specific requirements. So we do few customizations. We implement the out of the box security which is available or which is applied in your Oracle SaaS applications. And number of data sources, you can see your Oracle SaaS application, which is your core data source. And then we also add up, let's say 5 flat files. So what I mean by flat file is it can be any external data. Let's say it is customer feedback data to identify customer sentiment analytics. So that can be your one data source, or it can be employee feedback. So I can extract that in flat files and upload that to create and correlate that information with the other reports that I have. So that way we are considering 5 data files, or I can say 5 external data apart from Oracle SaaS. Number of custom reports, you can see it's 10 here, and then it takes around 6 to 10 weeks depending on the level of customization. And the last is enterprise. Looking at it includes some of the customizations that we are covering in the medium package. We customize a lot of KPIs, decks. I will show you what these decks are, and then you can create the semantic model based on your specific need. So here it shows the Oracle SaaS applications plus external data source. So it can be, for example, it can be Salesforce or Workday or any other source system that you have as a part of your organization, and we will do a direct integration with that source. And flat files integration is already covered here, and number of custom reports. So as I said, you've got more than 350 or 400 KPIs, but if there are any specific custom reports that we want to create, we can add those as a part of the custom report in this package. And that takes around 12 weeks or so. So these are the packages which most of our customers pick, and we help them to go live in weeks and not months.
Right. And mostly I find that the customers being at the medium or the standard level. There are very few at the out of the box, but mostly in the standard level. So that's where you would probably expect it all. And happy to have discussions on this, and we'll be more than happy to look at your current instance. I know there are a couple of our customers on the call now that it would be very easy for us to give you an estimation based on your current instance you have. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me move forward quickly. So these are industry solutions. As I said, there are all these pre-built KPIs that Oracle gives us. But apart from that, if you want to give them a very, very industry specific solution by extending it to non-Oracle data sources or non-ERP SaaS, then we can extract all of that data onto the central data warehouse and start doing our analytics. So if you see from a manufacturing perspective or healthcare perspective, in healthcare, if you talk about patient volume forecasting or costing and profitability, which gives you the costing and profitability by every service, by patient, by doctor, or by DRG. So all of those are covered here, and we have implemented those for our customers like Adventist Healthcare in US, and there are other organizations in the other parts of the world. You can see on the education side, we have done implementations in terms of student analytics, placement analytics, on hospitality. So we have packaged solutions for these industries as well. So you can have your FAW, which is a pre-built, and then we can put the Evosys pre-built package on top of it, creating a truly enterprise reporting architecture. Similarly for banking, finance, retail, public sector, and then these are non vertical related or agnostic of any vertical. So like workforce analytics, or detail analytics of your supply chain, or doing the entire data governance or modern data platform. So all of these are industry specific solutions that we as Evosys add on top of FAW. So we've got our subject matter experts, which are coming from all of these verticals, and they add a lot of business value to the implementation, apart from just technical implementation. So I'll go to the demo part, and then I'll come back to the presentation. Rick, can you just confirm if you can see the screen?
Yes, we sure can.
Okay. So this is the home page of FAW, and I can create multiple favorite links here. I can see my favorite cards here. For example, what is the diversity, or what is the gender ratio, which is, I think, one of the most important criteria for most of our customers that we are implementing the solution for. So I can have my favorite cards marked here, and I can start exploring them or doing my analysis from there. So I'll just show you how the menu looks like. So I've got my decks, which are nothing but collection of various reports. And then I've got all of these pre-built KPIs, and then projects, what are my data sources, and then the admin console. So I'll go to decks first. So as a part of the FAW application, I get the flexibility to keep adding more and more decks, or you can say dashboards that can reflect the data or analysis that I want. So from that perspective, if I can start opening up the new deck, or create my own deck, which is more like a self-service dashboard. So this is a deck that I have already created. So I can place all my reports or my cards here. You can see it tells me the overall headcount by year. Then it tells me the retention percentage by talent, what is the average tenure by different departments, or even by at a organization level, the span of control, the levers, the gender ratio, and what are the hirings that we are doing by region. Or you have multiple slices, so I can do it by region, I can do it by the department, or by type of entity or type of business. So there are a lot of pre-built slices which are available that I can start using. And if you see here, I can do drill down on a lot of different areas. I can look at the details of what makes up these different KPIs or ratios. So if I go here in the global dashboard, so it basically shows me the details of that particular KPI. So it tells me the global total headcount, which is all staff, how many of them are permanent, how many are specific term. And then you can see which are the headcounts by different slices. So I've created it by region, and then I've also got a map here. And these are all interactive reports or dashboards. So at any point in time, I can zoom in and see what are the total headcounts in each of these countries. So it shows me, as the darker the color is, the more the headcount in that country or that region. So I can zoom in, I can see, for example, in this case, uh, there are more than 4,000 employees, right? So I can look at these types of reports and dashboards in the way I want to, whether it is graphical format or tabular format. I've also got a lot of features which help me to, directly filter out certain things, or, even export that. So I can just right click on any of the dashboard and export that data to any file, or directly print it off as well. So if you see here, sorry, let me go back here. And all of these reports are correlated. So you can see, as in when I'm clicking on a particular graph on the right side here, the left side graph changes or refreshes automatically. So I wanted to see here what is the breakup of the infrastructure and business management people in all of these different grades. So when I click on grade 2 here, it shows me the split of infrastructure and business management. Again, this is very specific to the demo that we have created, but you can say that, let's say number of technical people or number of analysts. So I can do my analysis the way I want to and correlate certain graphs, so that as and when I click on any reports or dashboards, the other areas can filter out or refresh automatically. Similarly, you can see here at the, in the other areas, all of these are related to each other. Whenever I'm changing a particular parameter or clicking on a particular grade or a department, all the other reports are being refreshed to give me the latest data or the related data. So that's how all of the data or all of these reports are correlated. So this is all about headcount. I can, again, play around with the filters. I can change or edit the filters that I want to. I can select whichever years I want and whichever years I want to disable, do that entire analysis. And if I want to add more filters here, I can do that on my own. So I don't need to write any code. I don't need to, do any technical stuff. All I need to do is, understand how the data is, and, keep adding the filters that are required for doing my analysis. So at the bottom, you can see these are all different reporting areas or dashboards that we have created. And it gives me a good amount of analysis of all of this data. And the beauty of these reports is that it's basically just as we have natural language processing. This is more like natural language generation, which means that the system will automatically create this narration or this description of the reports that you are creating. So it tells me, 0 to 2 years is the largest, with the headcount of 3755 and other areas. So that way I don't need to create my own description or narration based on the type of report or based on the graphs or charts. It automatically creates all that narration for you as and when it is required. Similarly here, the new joiners. So it tells me here, this is the diversity or the gender ratio in terms of all these different grade types or job structures. So you can see in this a particular area, 25% female and 75% male, and how it is. So it can be by grade, or it can be by department, or by region or country. So it can be any splits or slices that I want to. Similarly, you can see here, this is by region, and it tells me what are the permanent or temporary staff that I have by region. Global leavers, so how many people left the organization, what were the reasons. So you can see all of that data being shown here. So there are a lot of these types of reports that we have created. It can be by gender, it can be by the region, as I can show you here at the bottom. So all of these are reports that are, pre-built or readily available. I don't need to create the reports, or I don't even need to create these KPIs or calculations. These are readily available. So you can see, if I go to the new deck here, I want to create my own deck. So I'll just add a new card here. And all of these are pre-built KPIs. So give me just 1 minute. Okay, so I'll go back to the decks here, the new deck, and I'll add. So these are the pre-built KPIs, and you can see it's very easy to identify which are the pre-built ones. And if I've made any change or any minor change in the pre-built KPI, it will show me a different icon. So this lock means that these are all pre-built. So I can pick up any one of these pre-built KPIs and start looking at it, or start slicing it in different way. So let me pick up the active headcount ratio. As soon as I click on the KPI, it automatically generates a dashboard or a chart on its own. That's the auto generation of the dashboard. And you can see it is by business unit right now, but I can have it by any different slice here. It can be by job family, by country, or any other configurations that are valid for our organization. So here it shows me that this is the KPI and the related card. I can go ahead and customize it as well. So I can select which year I want it for, which period I want it for. So that's the period part. I can also see the visualization here. So it says auto, which means that based on the type of data, it is intelligent enough to pick up the right visualization and then creates the chart. But I can just change it at any point in time. Let's say I pick up a pie chart, and it's it's just a matter of few clicks and then the dashboard changes. And I can add that card on my deck so that it's visible here. And if I want, I can mark them as my favorites so that it's available on my home page. And there is if I want, I can customize, as I just showed you. I can do certain auto alerting and auto notification. So let's say if my target was 0.99 and this is 0.98. So if I'm below target in a certain month, it can start sending alerts to me, and based on the specific targets that we have set, right? So it sends you alerts to specific people. So all of these features are available, which help in active decision making, because we are not relying on opening the system and then getting to know what's happening. The system sends you alerts on a routine basis based on the targets or based on certain tolerance levels that we have set. So that way I can keep adding as many cards here on the deck which I want to. I'll show you the KPIs here. So all the KPIs that I showed you while creating a card, all of these KPIs are available here. So all the pre-built KPIs and the KPIs that I add as custom KPIs, they are available here. And you can see they talk about, what are the headcounts, for example. It tells me the description and who modified it or when was it changed, and what are the seeded KPIs as well. So I can see all of these KPIs available. Turnover by KPI, turnover by FTE. And I have the ability to start modifying or changing the pre-built KPIs as well. Obviously, we don't want to give access to anyone to modify these, but yes, I'm just trying to show you that if it is required, it is not, again, technical work to create or modify these KPIs. So if I want to see the age band, I can just drag and drop it here. I can add whatever filters I want to, and then I can add the target. So as soon as you start setting the targets, the system will look at the achievement of these KPIs and start sending you alerts, whether you're achieving or not achieving the KPIs or the targets. and then you can link certain KPIs or dashboards together. So it's easy. In this entire demo, I've not used any technical stuff. It's mostly drag and drop. As till the time I understand the data of the organization, it's easy for me to not only create the reports, but also create my own KPIs. So you can see here, I've got all of these details which are populated from your backend applications, or you can say ERP applications. And based on that, you can start creating your reports. So you can see the hierarchies from the organization, department hierarchy, employee hierarchy. Similarly, on the worker side, the bands. So all of these informations are available to use, and you can start creating these as KPIs. So here you have the option to create your KPIs. You can have your alert so that all your notifications are available here, and it also sends you emails for the notifications. These are all of the important KPIs are directly provided so that you can start looking at these KPIs directly. So what I want to show you now is the last bits before I can open up for questions. So here I showed you the link to the global detailed dashboards. Same way I can do a lot of drill down. I can drill down from one area to the other. I can copy a particular card and move it to a different deck altogether. So all of those are standard features which are available. So you can see here, these are all different filters that are available to me. I can pick up any filter and start doing my analysis here. Similarly here, if you see here, I'll take you to another graph, let's say this one. And if I want to just export that to Excel sheet. So obviously I can print them off, but if I want to export this data to Excel sheet, to do some type of analysis, I can click here, I can say export. So all of the data that is available on this chart will be available on the Excel sheets. And if I want to do my own analysis, I can do that. So it's easy to export any data to external sources, or I can, directly print it off from here directly. So as an end user, from a self-service perspective, as I said, it's easy to create your own dashboard, to create your own decks or your own cards, and start utilizing them, marking them as favorites, and then distributing it as well. So any of the custom KPIs, it will show me what the custom KPI was. Let's say someone created any custom KPI and I just want to see how it looks like. So I can just click on the KPI and it will show me how it looks like, what are the different slices which are available. So you can see all the slices which the person has built in that KPI. So it's easy to reuse the KPIs that have been customized by one set of people. And obviously it is possible. So as I was talking about the security part, so all the data level or secure the role-based access that we create in the Fusion ERP or HCM applications. Those are directly applicable here. So I don't need to go and create a separate role-based access here. All of those created in your backend systems will automatically be imported here, and people can see only that data which is available to them as a part of the role-based access created. So I'll go back to the PPT here. I just want to quickly touch base on a couple of case studies before I can open it for questions. So you can see we are implementing it for LHC Group, and it's a it's a huge organization with more than 11,500 employees, and we are implementing Fusion Analytics Warehouse on top of the Oracle SaaS solution, and over 60 users and more than 3,500 OSE users. The implementation is in progress, but it's going smooth, and we are hopeful to go live with them very soon. The second is Adventist Healthcare. So this was not FAW, but it was OAC and ADW. Again, the foundation of FAW, right? These are the two modules. So we went live with them. It's a huge organization. They are like 23 hospitals and 1,000 beds plus. So they are, we implemented the entire cost allocation. So as I was talking about, getting the cost by the patient, by the service or DRG. So we did that entire implementation. We did the complex cost allocation in the data warehouse as well as in the analytics layer, and which gives them good amount of visibility into where are their cost leakages, how they can improve the cost per service or cost per patient, and fix their clinical pathway. So this is also available as a video case study on YouTube. So if you look at Adventist Healthcare Evosys, you will find that. The third one is Arup. Here is the Fusion HCM implementation, and on top of that, we are implementing FAW for HCM. So all of these features that we talked about, we've implemented there at Arup. So Arup is an organization which is based in UK, but it's a global organization in 34 countries and more than 17,000 employees. So we created the entire reporting platform for them. We did a lot of custom implementations as well. So if you can see custom columns and additional KPIs to address the organizational as well as regional goal tracking by department and verticals. So it is a conglomerate. It has a lot of entities, and we created custom reports and KPIs on top of the pre-built Fusion HCM FAW solution that was available. And we've also done a single sign-on with Active Directory, so that it's seamless to access FAW throughout the organization. So these are the implementations that we've done. Tektronix is again a client in US. We implemented OAC and ADW for them, and it is widely used across the organization, and we are live since last 3 years and supporting them actively. Can we open the floor for questions now?
Thank you, Arpan. And we focused on making sure, based on the audience that was attending, that when we went through the case studies, we brought the two up that were most relevant to you, which was in the healthcare industry, as we both have Optum and as well as Fenway on. But please feel free to ask any questions. I know you're both current customers, so we'll follow up with you directly after this as well.
Yeah. So I do see a question that talks about the implementation of the healthcare side. So how do we implement these solutions, right? So it's not just ERP based reporting. You can see we have integrated with their clinical systems as well. So yeah, so they are using Cerner, Epic, and they've got a lot of lab systems. So we basically integrated data from all their financial, HR systems, clinical systems, laboratory systems, as well as the billing systems that give us good amount of information into the episodes of care and the patient encounters. So we ideally loaded all the encounter level details, which goes into millions and billions, right? So we loaded all that information onto autonomous data warehouse, and we were able to get excellent reporting out of it. So the mantra behind implementing these successful solutions is that we've got a specific healthcare team, which is led by doctors and physicians on Evosys side. And then we've got cost accountants. We've also got subject matter experts in terms of how do we, connect with Epic or Cerner or other clinical systems. So we've got these packages that help us to integrate with these sources and get the data out of it as soon as possible for doing our analysis. So that's the kind of team structure that we follow when we do the implementations in the healthcare side.
Thank you for that. And with the same solutions we have for healthcare, we've got a number in the other industries as well. We've got it for manufacturing, high tech, construction, engineering, professional services, many others.
Correct. And it's important thing to note that sorry, just as I was talking about the healthcare subject matter expertise, we've also got people who have spent their entire lifetime in retail, similarly manufacturing. So they've got a lot of business exposure. So they understand the business and they help us to build the right solutions for our clients. And this is what makes it different, right? Because it's not just a technical implementation that we're doing. We get a lot of guidance from our subject matter expert teams, and who have a good amount of experience on this vertical, so that they can help us to address the problem in the right way. Any other questions? Can we see the chat?
All right, I don't see anything else in the chat section. I see it's the top of the hour. I do want to thank everybody for joining us today. Feel free to reach out to us directly if you have any questions. We'll be more than happy to help. But thank you all for giving us your time today, and I hope you enjoyed your lunch. Have a very good day. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.